can we have a democratic fanaticism? What does it mean to have fanaticism that is democratic? What would it look like? What would be the elements of such a fanaticism? And how would we recognize that this ideology person, the questions they raise, the irritations they pose, the challenge they pose to us is something that can have democratic value? And there are, I think, three broad elements that I might propose. The first is that, and here I agree with it, the first is that this form of fanaticism would not dehumanize the enemy. It would not dehumanize those who they are opposed to or attacking. That's the first. The second is that it would not be suppressing of speech. In other words, this form of fanaticism would say the problem is not that you should shut up and I should talk, but yeah, I should talk louder because not enough of the people have my view, but precisely because not enough of the people express my view, I need to talk louder so that my view is heard. But others may talk too, so it's not suppressing speech. And finally, and I think most importantly, it is expanding participation. So it is bringing in the participation of ordinary people who might not otherwise be participating in this. So there is, I believe, a space for a democratic form of fanaticism. And I think, maybe here's where you and I don't disagree so much, but I think that I don't think we have a problem of fanaticism. And I say this to say that many institutions, political institutions that we have that exist today, deal remarkably well, democratic institutions, with a number of these issues that we call or define as fanatic. And they deal remarkably well in both constraining and in ensuring constraining that fanatics don't take over the public space, but also ensuring that we don't have some sort of anti-fanatical politics. We do not get so worked up about fanaticism that we spend our time going after fanatics. There was a bit of that after September 11th, when everybody was quite excited about fanatics and felt that all of democratic activity should be focused on going after fanatics. But today we are far more relaxed about it and far more confident about the fact that certain kinds of challenges are really less of a threat to democratic politics than we might envisage. And I want a cautionary note, because if we ask what the precise opposite of fanaticism is, and I struggle with this question a lot, really, once we go through all of these things, the precise political antonyms of fanaticism, there are two well, there's one that comes to mind immediately. It's moderation. And it's not clear that moderation is somehow something good. That moderation is somehow something we should espouse towards, and we should actively, as a society, all work towards moderation. There's something about it that seems just crass and unexciting and uninspiring. And if we were to ask what would be one of the biggest protections against moderation, against fanaticism in a political sense, then you're faced with the disquieting answer that it is conservatism. That is really one of the most important forces against fanaticism, because conservatism ensures that there are no crazy radicals, there are no people messing up the status quo, there are no radical reformers, there are no people with intolerant and ridiculous views out there. And so I find that if I think of the political opposites of fanatism, I don't think in terms of political progress, the words that come to me are not necessarily tolerance and reason, but rather conservatism and moderation, both of which I find undermine the democratic politics. They don't really contribute to democratic politics. So I want to say, let's ask this question: can we have a democratic fanaticism, and what would it look like?